Sanjanamaupasate. Okay. Now show this mantra by Priyansh.
Swadesh Mantra. O India, with this mere echoing of others, with this base imitations of others, with this dependence on others, this lavish weakness, this vile detestable cruelty, wouldst thou, with these provisions only, scale the highest pinnacle of civilization and greatness? Wouldst thou attain, by means of thy disgraceful cowardice, that freedom deserved only by the brave and the heroic? O India, forget not that the idol of thy womanhood is Sita, Savitri, Damayanti. Forget not that the god thou worshippest is the great ascetic of ascetics, the all-renouncing Shankara, the lord of Uma. Forget not that thy marriage, thy wealth, thy life are not for sense pleasure, are not for thy individual personal happiness. Forget not that thou art born and sacrificed to the mother's altar. Forget not that thy social order is but the reflex of the infinite universal motherhood. Forget not that the lower classes, the ignorant, the poor, the illiterate, the cobbler, the sweeper, are thy flesh and blood, thy brothers. Thou, brave one, be bold, take courage, be proud that thou art an Indian, and proudly proclaim, I am an Indian. Every Indian is my brother. Say, the ignorant Indian, the poor and destitute Indian, the Brahmin Indian, the Pariah Indian is my brother. Thou, too clad with but a rag round thy loins, proudly proclaim at the top of thy voice, the Indian is my brother. The Indian is my life. India's gods and goddesses are my God. India's society is the cradle of my infancy, the pleasure garden of my youth, the sacred heaven, the Varanasi of my old age. Say, brother, the soil of India is my highest heaven. The good of India is my good. And repeat and pray day and night. O thou Lord of Gauri, O thou Mother of the universe, vouchsafe manliness unto me. O thou Mother of strength, take away my weakness, take away my unmanliness, and make me a man. Thank you.
Okay. Most welcome everyone, all the participants, and all you know, as we have already announced it. Today is a special day, a special offer on behalf of Jamshedpur Vivekananda Yuva Mahamandal, just an organization inspired by the Akhil Bharat Vivekananda Yuva Mahamandal and Vivek IS Foundation is, you can say, uh, uh, social service wing of that Akhil Bharat Vivekananda Yuva Mahamandal yet to be recognized. And anyway, it was started in 2020. You can remember it at the just on onset of that pandemic. We have seen, I think, the worst kind of in 100 years. And at that time, Vivek IS Foundation was established, and we, on behalf of Jamshedpur Vivekananda Yuva Mahamandal, wanted to actually offer to our youth some really a fruitful or effective service by just creating a platform for them from which they can learn about the top ranked government job just of that union government, the UPSC, the services, civil services, and mainly, IAS, and then there are so many other just posts along with that. The the main purpose was always something noble. And the thing is that there are so many these kind of IAS institutions giving quality training. So, in that consideration, we are nowhere there. Our objective is unique and totally different. I don't know how many such organizations they are doing. It is especially for those youths who have a nationalistic ideal, who are basically just men and women of character, what Swami Vivekananda wanted. And with that purpose, we never actually went for that all these, I think, you can say, forms and advertising these agencies by which we can just announce or declare our presence with the bank. It was never in our mind. Yes, you know it. The people who were with us and still those who are with us, they are basically members of Akhil Bharat Vivekananda Yuva Mahamandal, and some of them are present today, like Mr. Alec Chandra Shamal. He is the president of Vivek IAS Foundation, and our Jamshedpur Vivekananda Yuva Mahamandal members, Mr. Shamir Ghosh, Padalachan Ghosh, they are all here. And for you, I will not take much time. Mr. Sumit Thakur is waiting with all his genuine eagerness and spirit of service to offer you some valuable information, and also you can say counseling regarding how to approach these UPSC exams, and when will start, and then what should be the right approach, whether it is proper to go for renowned coaching centers with huge amount as fees till you actually get that chance. Mainly, most of the coaching centers, they have thousands of students or aspirants registered to them, and they have to spend lakhs, that actually in amounts in lakhs. So what is our objective? It is very clear. We don't need many. Only a few really dedicated, genuine boys and girls who have actually made up their mind that they must go for the UPSC with some purpose. Purpose serving the nation, and especially those people who are deprived, who are downtrodden. We have to uplift the masses, and the country itself will develop. So this, in our view, we always try to present before you someone who will be glaring example of such kind of youth spirit, with his just power, with the zeal of strong self-determination, and going against all odds in life, who has made it successful and become successful. And Mr. Sumit Thakur, who is present here today, you can have no better an example perhaps than him, that who himself, being a follower of Swami Vivekananda, a student by Ramakrishna Mission, has that zeal, that fervor to serve the nation. And that is why, in spite of all odds in life, he did not actually deviate an inch till he just quenched that success for himself and for Ramakrishna Mission and for the country. And definitely his parents, who just have made a huge sacrifice for him. Without actually extending my speech, I welcome everyone, and definitely Mr. Sumit Thakur. And I'm leaving all our aspirants to actually to your custody, Mr. Sumit, and the next session, it is yours totally. So welcome, Mr. Sumit Thakur.
Thank you very much, sir, for organizing this session. And I welcome all of you on behalf of the Vivek IS Foundation as well as sir. So in this session, we will be having certain objectives. So before I proceed further, please let me know whether my audio is clear or not.
Yeah, clear. It's clear. Perfect.
Okay, sir, fine. So the first thing is that we will try to delineate some basic questions which is quite often being asked regarding preparation. For example, first of all, in next 10 minutes, I'll try to focus on when to start the preparation, how to start the preparation, what exactly can you expect from UPSC, what is the basic syllabus pattern, that is the stages of the examination, and then we can take questions one by one where you can ask your own personal queries with regard to this exam. Okay, so beginning with the session, first of all, there are many students or aspirants who are asking me that, sir, I'm in class 9th or I'm in class 10th, 11th. So should I start preparation? So I strictly tell them that this is not the age to start preparation. So first of all, in these tender age, that is class 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, you try to develop the perspective. Okay, because once you enter into your graduation, then right from, like, let's say you are attending a BSc degree or a BCom or a BA degree, which is a 3-year program. In that case, from the 3rd year, you can start preparation. That is actual preparation. And if you are in engineering college or any, what I mean to say is that, let's say your exam, you are planning to give exam in 2025. So you should ideally start from 2023. Fine. So if X is the year in which you are appearing in the exam, start preparing diligently for the exam from X minus 2 years. Okay. So these things which I am telling, if you want, you can even take a note of it, or I think the session is being recorded. So the same will be provided to you. Okay. So this was the first, query which I have resolved, that in whatever year you are trying to take the exam, start 2 years before. Okay. This is the first thing. Secondly, now the question will arise that, sir, so what we should do now? So at present, you are only required to develop your thinking capability and your perspective with regard to anything which takes place around you. Okay. Just don't be isolated. For example, let me tell you, let's say inflation, like you see in newspapers, you will see कि महंगाई बढ़ रही है. Or let's say today or yesterday only there was voting for presidential election. So just out of curiosity, you can, figure out ki, like how president is elected. Okay, what is the difference between post of a president and a vice president and prime minister? So what I mean to say is that whatever news you come across, you can just read about it in a very brief manner at current stage. Okay, let's say COVID came. So you can just observe as a student that if COVID came, what was the problem which our society faced? How did we tackle that problem? What impact COVID had on India as well as on the world? How poor countries were affected? How rich countries were affected? Okay, and what type of gaps in our healthcare sector was envisaged when COVID came? Now, as a student, you just imagine that if you are, made a collector someday, or you are made a health officer someday, what will you do to tackle COVID? So anything which comes across you, try to be very, inquisitive and curious about that. Try to ask questions, try to get answers either from Google or from YouTube or from some teachers, some seniors. Okay. So only this exercise has to be done from now till you reach your X minus 2 years. The moment you reach X minus 2 years, start preparing for this exam diligently, taking the printout of syllabus, going through the exam pattern, and then curating the book list, preparing the strategy, and following the path. So this is the point. So I have tackled first two questions. The first is when to prepare, and the second is what to do before that time comes for you to prepare. Fine. So till here, if anyone is having any doubt, you can ask me one at a time. Hello,
Yeah.
sir. Am I audible?
Yeah. So
Okay,
I
fine.
think, yeah, just my also request to all our participants. Okay, don't be mute audience only. Okay, be active. Be
Sir,
active.
you can coordinate, and if anyone wants to ask any question, they can simply raise hand. And if anyone is not asking question, we will proceed further.
Okay, okay, that will be better. And the chat box is there. There also you can write your queries. So please, yeah. Okay, so we can go move ahead.
Okay, fine. So now we come to the scheme of the examination. Fine. So this examination you will be judged on the basis of in total 2025 marks. Okay, 2025 marks. Now, as many of you might be aware, there are three stages for this exam. The first is the preliminary exam, which is only eliminating in nature. Fine. That is, the marks of that exam is not added towards preparation of your merit list. So the prelims of this exam is of two stages. That is, first is your general studies and second is your CSAT. And CSAT stands for Civil Services Aptitude Test, where you have to be, very good in your reasoning, in your comprehension, and in your basic mathematics. So I would request everyone who is, present in this session that from now itself you try to focus on these areas. Okay, read some good books, read good newspapers, and try to develop your comprehension skills, which very much, is emphasized when we are in our schools in 10th, in 12th, in board exams. So comprehension, reading comprehension is very, very important aspect of clearing CSAT. Apart from it, basic reasoning and quant. So try to focus on quantitative aptitude as well as reasoning. So the basic, probability or time and work problem, blood relation problems, syllogism, which we have been, studying in our 10th or, different competitive exams. Those will be very, very helpful. And apart from that, be very good in maths. For example, set questions, Venn diagram questions, average questions, then your percentage questions, profit and loss questions. So we have to be good in these areas. Why I am emphasizing on CSAT is because since last 4 or 5 years, it is being seen that the UPSC is elevating the level of CSAT to a huge extent. Okay, there are many of my friends whom I know who scored very good in GS1, I mean the first paper of prelims, but they failed miserably in CSAT. So I would request all of you to please take this paper very, very seriously. Now coming to the first paper, that is general studies of prelims paper. Now in this there will be 100 questions, 200 marks, 1/3 will be the negative marks. In CSAT there will be 80 questions, 200 marks, that is 2.5 marks for each question. Pass marks will be 33%. Okay, that is 66.66 marks you need to bring. So this is the point. Now coming to GS, in this first I would recommend all of you to straight away open the website upsc.gov.in, go into the examination section of that website, click on active examinations. Then you will be getting Civil Services Exam 2022 link will be there. Click on that link and download the gadget notification that was published in the year 2022 for the exam of Civil Services 2022. I think that will be more than 100 pages document where you will be having detailed syllabus of prelims, general studies, CSAT, as well as mains examination along with personality test, that is also called as interview. So first thing which you are going to do today after this session is you are going to download that PDF, and you need to read that PDF very selectively. I'll tell you how you have to read. First, you have to go to the syllabus of prelims GS part. There you will find that it is very clearly written. Fine, that is your events of national and international importance. Then there is history is there, science and technology is there, environment is there, polity and governance is there, international relations, international issues, institutions, these are there. Then you also have disaster management, or let's say defense questions will also be there. So for GS, you need to cover almost everything: government schemes, budget, economic survey, everything. So everything which you can think of can be the part of your general studies syllabus for prelims exam. Okay. Now there are certain books which are to be read, which is the basic minimum which has to be done. So first of all, I'll take the name of those books here itself, but I believe that it will be difficult for you to write about each of them. So what I will do after this session, I'll create a book list and I'll upload, or I'll send it in the WhatsApp group. Fine. So the book list is like, for first of all, there are set of NCRTs. Around 18 to 20 NCRT books are there. Those books are to be read. First of all, cover to cover. I mean, you have to read it word to word and remember it very appropriately. Fine. Then apart from these NCRT books, there are some basic books. For example, there's a Spectrum for Modern India. Then there is this book that is your PMFIS has one book that is for environment. So you can refer that, or you can refer Sankar IS. Then for polity, we have Lakshmikant. For environment, I told you. For polity, I told you. For modern India, I told you. Then for economics, you can either refer, there is a book called as Shankar Ganesh. You can either refer that, or you can go through Mrunal Patel sir's, PDF for economics. It will cover economics along with some aspects of GS3 paper of your mains exam as well, very exhaustively. So these are there. Then you have to read newspaper without fail. You can either read Indian Express or you can read The Hindu. Any one newspaper will do, but you have to read it daily without fail. Okay. Now the question comes that should we make notes from newspaper? Okay. So for this, and yes, one more question is there. Let's say if you are very new for reading newspaper, then it will take a lot of time. Okay. You will have to read it for, it may take 3 hours. Even when I started preparation, it used to take 3 hours or 3.5 hours for me to complete newspaper. Why? Because when you are starting it for the first time, there will be many topics which you will be completely new to. So that will take time when you read. The moment gradually you read it for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, then you will find that there are many topics which are being repeated, or you are familiar with those topics. Okay, let's say there's a news in, let's say, a newspaper which says that RBI has hiked the repo rate by, let's say, 0.5 basis points. So now if a person is reading it for the first time, he will not know what is the repo rate. Why repo rate is hiked? What will be the impact of hiking repo rate on Indian economy? Fine. So the moment you will read economics, the basic economics, then you will get to know, okay, this is repo rate. If it is hiked, this is the impact of the action on Indian economy. This authority has the power to hike repo rate. So these things will get clear gradually. So you need not panic when you start with the newspaper reading initially. Fine. Then when it comes to note making, during initial days, like let's say for first 3 months or 2 months or 4 months, do not rush towards making notes, okay, from newspaper. For 2 to 3 months, just try to read the newspaper, try to search the meaning of keywords or terms which have been used in the newspaper. Okay, and whenever you are reading newspaper, before that, very, very, very important, have syllabus in front of you. Okay, because entire newspaper is not important. We need to figure out which news is important and relevant for us as an aspirant. I'll give you a few examples. Okay, the news which has political overtone, that news is not important. The news which is related to business, that news is not important. For example, let's say Infosys is giving some salary hike to its employees, or let's say some political party is organizing some rally somewhere. So these news are not important. Political news is not important. The news with regard to your sports also, it is not important, though in 2021 there was one or two questions from Test Cricket World Cup, but that was a very prominent thing which happened, so therefore there was one question. But the thing is that we cannot chase everything, it becomes very difficult. So majorly sports section is not that important. Okay, it's not important majorly, I'm saying. But there can be question. I told you that in prelims UPSC can ask any question from anywhere, it can cover anything. So but as an aspirant we have some limitations, we cannot cover everything under the sun. Okay, so political news, business news, then sports news, these are not important. So now what news are important? Any news which is concerned with some historical fact. Let's say Archaeological Survey of India did some excavation and found some important remnants somewhere, that will become important. Okay, then government scheme is coming, that is important. Okay, science and tech news will be important. Then some disaster event is happening, that will be important. Any news with respect to environment will be very, very important. Any news, fine. NGT news, or let's say some national park news, some wildlife sanctuary news, some critically endangered species is coming in news. These will be very, very important, fine. So this is how you are going to read a paper for few months. Do not rush towards creating notes. Read paper very selectively. Then do not read the paper in entirety. Focus only on those topics which are related to your syllabus. How you will get to know that? For that, you have to refer to your syllabus quite often. Okay. So this was with regard to newspaper reading. Fine. Now, apart from newspaper, you have to, follow the monthly booklet of any good coaching institute. I would recommend Vision IS. Okay. So, or if you have joined any coaching, if they are giving any current affairs material, and if you find that to be useful, you can continue it. There is no problem in that. Fine. Otherwise, Vision IAS gives monthly magazine compilation, or even there's a magazine called as PT 365, which is absolutely free. You can take that. You can read that along with newspaper. So this will cover your current affairs. Okay. And in whichever year you are taking exam. Okay. As I told you that you need to start preparing X-2. So you have to be thorough with the current affairs of 2-3 years minimum. Okay. Let's say 2024, you are taking the exam, start preparation from 2022. You will be covering news from 2022 till the date of your exam in 2024. And also you need to cover some 1 or 2 years back news. Fine. So overall, it drops down to around 4 years of current affairs. You must be aware. Okay. Not everything, major events. Fine. Let's say if we take the example of, polity, let's say. So, news like anti-defection, or let's say no confidence motion, or features of presidential system versus parliamentary system, or let's say the budgetary process of the government of India, or electoral reforms is there. Fine. Then UAPA is there, AFSPA is there. Fine. Human rights, NHRC is there, Election Commission of India is there. So these things, the main topics which have been in news. Okay, you have to be well versed with those topics. Okay, so this was with regard to current affairs as well as newspaper reading for this exam. Now we come to the another aspect, that is I talked to you regarding the basic books for your prelims exam, that is NCRTs, that is around 20 NCRTs are to be read. Along with it, 5 to 6 there are basic books, that is Lakshmikant, Spectrum, PMFIS or Shankar IAS. Okay, then there is this economics PDF by Murad sir, or Sankar Ganesh book is there. So these books are to be read. Okay, so these things if you cover, that is CSAT part which I discussed already earlier, that part, and then the GS part which I discussed now, this part, if you cover both these parts, then your prelims preparation will be to the mark. Now comes the another aspect, that is test series. So before I go to test series aspect, if you have any doubt till here, you can ask me one by one by raising your hand. And sir, I would request you to please coordinate.
Yes, I
Hello,
can. I can see Chilika Thakur, Swati Mishra.
Yes, sir.
They have raised hand up. We'll start with Chilika. Yeah.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah.
Sir, my doubt is, we all know we have to read monthly magazines. I am following Vision IS, but how to mug up it? It is so much exhaustive and it has so many data. In one page, they give so many, for example, polity, they gave so many Supreme Court cases, judgments and everything. How to mug up it? And after, means before even I have finished 1 month and next month magazine is out. So how to cope up with that? How to approach monthly magazines?
Okay, so since when have you started preparation, Chilka?
2021.
Okay, so which month?
Sir, I'm asking about this month only.
No. What I am asking you, you have started preparation in 2021.
2021. Yeah.
Which month of that year you started
Sir,
preparation?
I started from very beginning, February 2021.
Okay. So now I want to know that how long has it been of your reading this vision compilation? Like
Sir,
since how long?
actually, I have to give examination, I think in 24 or 25 when my degree is complete. So last year, I just used to go through these magazines because I didn't mug up last year and I used to read newspapers and magazines every month. But since this year, I have started to, memorize this. But it has become so exhaustive. And now I am completely confused about how to approach these magazines. They are so exhaustive.
Okay. See, as I told in the start of this session only, that if you are preparing to take exam in X year, you have to study with due diligence from X minus 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you are attempting the exam in 2024, let's say, fine.
Yeah.
So you could be well versed with whatever is coming from January to 2022. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the first point. Now, how to mug up? The first thing is that yes, Vision monthly magazines, they are very, very exhaustive and it has lot of information and facts. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
the first thing is that when you go for the first reading, in the first reading, you try to underline or highlight important points. Okay. For example, let's say there's a topic on child rights. Fine. So I'll tell you in very short because see, at the end in the exam, you have to write a 10 marks answer or a 15 marks answer. Right?
Yeah.
So for a 10 marks answer, we need to have 10 points. For a 15 marks answer, we need to have 12 to 15 points. And for 10 marker, 8 to 10 points. Okay. So
Yes,
if
sir.
there is a topic on child rights, what you do, first you see what are the articles from Constitution which has been dealt in that topic. Okay. Remember
Yes,
that.
sir.
Then you see if there are any case, let's say Andhra Pradesh, there was some case, and there are few cases with regard to rights of the child, Bandhwa Mukti Morcha case. So just
Yes, sir.
remember those three, four cases. Okay, so 3-4 cases, some Supreme Court judgments, then the articles which deals with the rights of the children, then the institutions which have been created. Let's say there is a institution named as a CARA. Okay, then we have this, POSCO Act is there.
Yes, sir.
Study in this manner. So if you are taking child as a topic, so what are the articles with respect to children? What are the laws with respect to children? What are the institutions with respect to children? What are the Supreme Court judgments or cases with respect to children? Have there been any committee with respect to children? Okay, so in this manner, you
Yes,
need
sir.
to read, study. So in exam, if any question comes on children, you will be easily be able to write a very good answer for 10 or 15 marks. So you need to, and
Yes,
yes,
I'm actually following this only. If I read any topic from newspaper or magazine, I used to go to my static books, or I used to Google it, or some articles is there. Then I used to see Constituent Assembly debates. But this takes lots of note making and time, and I used to take around 45 to 1 minutes to 1 hour on just one topic. And in Vision magazine, there are so many number of topics. So this has become really a problem for me.
see, initially reading Vision is a very Herculean task, because even when I
Yes, sir.
started reading Vision magazine, I could only read around 4 pages in 1 hour. Fine.
Yes,
So
sir.
I
This
could,
is exactly happening with me.
so this is not at all a problem. The thing is that the more time you will spend in in studying these things, in then you will be able to remember things better. And I'm telling
Yeah.
you, like, what if there are certain keywords which you are forgetting, okay,
Yeah.
you can write it in your sticky notes. Let's say you are making online or offline note anywhere,
Yeah. Yeah.
even in child rights, or let's say there has to be a topic of women empowerment, let's say. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
you will find that there are certain things which you remember for women empowerment, but there will be certain additional things in Vision magazine which you are not aware of, or you do
Yeah.
not know about. You just make a note of them in your quick notes or sticky note or anything like that. So next time when you study, you revise that first. Okay, so then you will read that, because you will find that after a cycle of 12 to 15 months, topics are repeated. Fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
that time, you will be having that benefit. But initially, it will be very, very huge task, because almost everything which is written in that particular topic is not known to you. So it's very
Yeah.
natural and normal. Do not panic for that. I told you that
Yes, so
initially.
that's why after end of every day, I think means I've completed only this much, and maybe I'm wasting time. So this is the thought.
No, that's not a problem. Gradually, this will reduce, and and you will be remembering more and more things, and then this will become easy. Okay, it's not a problem.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Thank you, sir.
So, anyone else who has a doubt?
Yeah, I think two are in a line, Sweetie and Samannaya. So, Sweetie, you come out with a question.
Yes, sir. Sir, good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, actually, I'm going to ask that from where we can get the Munal handout notes or the PDF. Actually, I have searched for it, but I didn't get it. So, can you please
Okay,
tell?
fine. So, see, Mrunal sir is teaching on an academy actually. So, I think some of my friend, I have given them the PDF. I have one PDF, but that PDF is, up, it is of 2020 and 21. So he has even launched the latest PDF. So one PDF which I am having, I can share it in the WhatsApp, but I think again there will be problem of size, because on WhatsApp we cannot transfer a file which is more than 25 MB. So that is a problem. Let me check what I can do. So one PDF I'm having of where economics, along with current affairs of economics and other sectors of like human resource development, land reforms, many things, they are covered along with schemes, agriculture and all. In that handout, it's of around 780 pages. I am having that. I'll share it with you all people, so you can read that. Otherwise, sir updates that PDF every year. So you can cover that base PDF first, that is of 786 pages. Then you can download the handout which you will be getting for free on YouTube, on search channel of YouTube. So you can read the update from YouTube, and the base handout I will be providing it through sir. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Welcome. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm now pursuing BTech in electronics and communication. So at this time, I am just focusing on the courses, and our college means the college pressures are a lot. And apart from that, the core subject on my department are means they are vast, and I have to study a lot in that also. And apart from that, have to do a lot of other courses too for to create a strong base in my own in my own field. So apart from that, I see I follow those current affairs and all those things because I want to appear in the RRB exams also, because I think there is some submerged syllabus between the RRB and IAS. So how can I plan well to make both? In engineering also I can create a strong base at least until my course ends, and after that how can I it will be how can I reach my for the IAS 2? Give me a good plan so then I can execute it well.
See, first I want to know whether you want to take RRB exam or UPSC exam. Which exam?
Actually, RRB exam is for trials only, you can say. Ultimately, I will go for UPSC.
Okay, fine. So again, you the same.
RRB JE have our subject. That's why I want electronics.
Okay.
That's why.
I got your point. See, whenever you are planning to take this exam, okay, just 2 years before that, you start preparing seriously for UPSC exam. RRB, I'm not given RRB exam, so I cannot tell you about this. But yes, any other exam, it is very easy as compared to UPSC. So at present, you can if you are giving RRB also, let's say you are giving RRB in 2025. So you can prepare for RRB in 6 to 8 months. It is sufficient. Again, you have to read first, go through the syllabus of RRB and follow the book list, which any good candidate who has cleared the exam is suggesting on YouTube. I think you will get there. Regarding UPSC, first you should focus on getting good pointers or good marks in your engineering. There is no problem in that. Once you are through your engineering, you can start preparing. There is no problem in that. I also, when I was doing engineering, I was devoting my time in completely gaining the knowledge with regard to my computer science as a subject. I was not preparing for UPSC. I started preparing after I graduated from the college. So you can do that also. Anyways, whenever you start, just remember that it takes around 2 years for preparation. Okay, and 1 year will be the exam cycle. So around 3 years it takes. And you have to remember for 1 or 2 years previous news also. So in total, around 3 to 4 years of news along with a very good base is what you need to have in order to take the exam. Now, how to make the base, that I already told earlier regarding reading NCRTs, reading some basic books, reading newspapers, observing things. Okay, so this is the point.
Okay, sir. That will be well remembered.
Yeah. So anyone else having a question?
Yes, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding environment. I have read Shankar IAS and I have gone through NIUS materials, and I have even solved previous year questions for prelims. I am talking, and by logic I am able to solve some questions. And but for some questions, I think from where on earth this question has come. So can you share something special which you did for environment section? Because I think a forest service exam is also included in our prelims examination. So I think they go in little details. So can you share something about environment?
See, first of all, be very clear that you do not have to attempt all 100 questions. Okay? So even if some questions are there and you think why on earth it is coming, it's normal. Don't panic. Okay, if you solve 80 questions out of 100 questions in the exam, okay, with 80% accuracy, you are through the exam. Remember this. Okay, and prelims is only a screening exam. So first of all, as I told you, as a human mind, it is not possible to cover each and everything, and there will be certain questions which will be picked from which such book or such source which no one knows actually. Fine. So do not worry about those those questions. But yes, see, our target has to be very good in basics of the major subjects. For example, environment is one very major subject. Polity is there. Is there. Then your economics is there. Fine. So these 4-5 subjects are there in which if you are very good in basics, okay, then there is high probability that you will clear this exam, clear the prelims actually. For environment,
Yes, sir.
Sankar is a good book, but now even better alternative.
Yeah, they are not even asking from that. I think there is no prescribed book for this exam.
That is what I'm telling you. For this exam, there is no prescribed book. There is only prescribed syllabus. Fine. But the thing
Yes,
is
sir.
that what everyone else is reading, you will have to read that because everyone is reading. Even I read Sankar. Fine. So the
Yes,
thing
sir.
is that how you read the book, that is important. That is the first point. Second point is that when you read newspapers, how you relate the things which you have read in newspaper to the book first. Second is how far and how better you are using Google. Okay, very, very important. Fine.
Yes, sir.
And that is what I'm telling you. Sankar is losing its relevance. So PMFIS has a geography book on environment, which they have released, I think, 2 years back. It's very good book. If you are having time, let's say you are appearing in 2023 or
Yes, sir. I have time. I have time.
2024. So you should go for PMFIS book because the presentation is good, error is very less. Along with it, they will be giving you the current affairs update for 1 or 2 years. So had I, had to prepare for more attempts, I would have gone with that book. It's a very good book at present in the market. Okay. So
Okay.
this
Thank
is
you,
the
sir.
point. Yeah. And in newspapers, whenever you read in very detail. Okay. For example, Malabar during COVID, when the
Yeah.
people movement was very less on road, Malabar civet was spotted in South India.
Yes,
So
sir.
now it becomes important. So what is Malabar civet? What is its IUCN
Yeah,
status? What are its
then I
habitat?
go through all these things in which national parks it is found and in which biodiversity it is found, ecosystems and some national highways in there. I go through all these things.
Do this thing, it is sufficient because you cannot go beyond this. Fine. And if
Yes, sir.
there will be a difficult question, it will be for everyone. You can see when
Yeah.
the paper is too difficult, the cutoff is going low and low and low. In
Yeah,
2016, cutoff was 110,
87.
21,
Last
it is
time
82 something.
87. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is what I'm telling. Okay. So
Thank
you
you,
need
sir.
not worry about that. Fine. Okay. So anyone else having any question?
I think now there's no one to have any questions, so better to move forward.
Okay. So till now we discussed with regard to prelims. Okay. So now we will talk about mains. Fine. So before talking about mains, let me tell you that you might be aware of this. There are 4 papers: GS1, GS2, GS3, and GS4. Each carries 250 marks. Then there is an essay which will be having 250 marks. You have to write 2 essays between 1000 to 1500 words, or I think 1200 to 1500 words. So this is of 250 marks. Now there will be 500 marks of optional paper in which you will have to choose one subject and there will be paper 1 and paper 2. So in total we have 500 marks optional, then 1000 marks GS which is 1500 and 250 marks essay which is 1750. So this 1750 marks is on the basis of which you are qualifying the mains exam and you are becoming eligible for personality test, or also called as interview. Now also there will be one Hindi paper and one English paper. So instead of Hindi you can choose any paper in which you are comfortable. Let's say Assamese, Maithili, Bodo, Dongri, Bengali, anything which is there in that list of UPSC syllabus. Okay. So but both of them are qualifying, that is English and Hindi, let's say. So now coming to essay part. So for essay, in the last 5 years, it is being seen that the percentage of philosophical essays has increased a lot in UPSC. Okay, in 2019 they began with this exercise in 2018, but since the recent years they are just increasing it. So what I want to tell you is that in order to prepare, see, there will be 2 aspects of essay writing. One is with regard to some very factual topic. Let's say climate change. If they give you a topic on climate change, so it's not very philosophical. Okay, you have to understand that what is climate change, why is it happening, okay, how the climate change of the current Anthropocene era is different from the earlier Miocene or Pleistocene era. So then what are the factors for climate change? How human beings are adding to the climate change? What are the technologies which can be used to tackle climate change? how human beings can reorient themselves to adjust to the climate change. Then how it is impacting the lifestyle, the agriculture, the livelihood practices, okay, the weather patterns, then the catastrophes. So what I mean to tell you is that the moment you get such topics, easily you can write, because you will be reading so much that you will have a lot of points to write for these areas. But the topics like wantlessness is utopia and materialism is chimera, if such topic comes, then what happens? Our mind just goes for a toss, isn't it? So these are the philosophical essays. Now, in order to prepare philosophical essays, a very important aspect is that you should start reading some good books. Okay, in my case, I used to read even Swami Vivekananda's books, his thoughts, his quotes. I have the collection of his quotes. Okay, so I used to figure out how and in what context I can use these quotes. Okay, I'll give you one example on this topic, that is materialism is chimera and wantlessness is utopia. This was a question. Now first you need to understand the meaning of this sentence. Okay, so the meaning is that it's not practically possible to be wantless, because every human being who has taken birth on this earth needs some basic needs, isn't it? That is food, clothing, shelter. So here what I did, I used Swami Vivekananda's quote, where he says that you cannot make a man worship or pray, or spirituality cannot be practiced through empty stomach. Okay, or in Hindi we say that bhuke pet bhajan nahi ho sakta hai. So that is what Swami Vivekananda also emphasized. So this shows that basic food, clothing and shelter is something which human being requires. So this proves that wantlessness is an utopian idea. Utopian means very idealistic. Okay, that is called utopian idea. Fine. Then second part of this essay was materialism is chimera. Chimera means illusion, okay, or maya. Fine. So I guess you know what is maya, what is illusion. Okay, chimera you might not be aware of. So here what I did, I quoted a story. I believe many of you would have read that story since you are in ICSE or CBSE school. How Much Land Does a Man Require is a story by the Russian author Leo Tolstoy. Okay, where he talks about this. Okay, that there was a farmer and he had to cover a land and come back, and whatever land he could cover and come back before sunset would be his. But his greed was endless and he kept on advancing, and by the time he reached back to his spot, he died, and he was buried in some 2 feet or 5 feet or 6 feet of land, and that was the actual land a man requires. So this shows that materialism is chimera, means we may keep on amassing wealth, chasing property, gold, or every day we can have new dress, everything we can have, but at the end you see when a person passes away, what he carries with him is nothing. So that is the aspect. So why I talked so much? To emphasize on the fact that preparing for a philosophical essay needs a different bent of mind as compared to factual essay. Climate change, which I talked earlier, was a factual essay. This topic which I discussed now was a philosophical essay. In order to prepare for philosophical essay, start having quotes from eminent thinkers, let's say Swami Vivekananda or Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, APJ Abdul Kalam, Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay, read about them, what they talked about. This will help you in writing a very good philosophical essay. Fine. So then again, there are many points with regard to essay writing. There can be altogether different session on this. Right now, I just dealt with tip of the iceberg. Okay. So after this, I'll go for GS 1, 2, 3 and 4. Currently, I'll just talk very, very passing reference I'll give for all the papers, because anyhow we will have one more session someday on one session I will be taking on essay writing, and another session I will be taking on GS for mains exam. Fine. So wait for those sessions. Currently, I'll just give you the tip of an iceberg. Okay. Regarding your GS 1, 2, 3, 4. So Till here, if you have any doubt, you can ask me.
Sir. Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
two hands okay.
Hello.
Yes, Digvijay. Yeah, you ask a question.
Yes, sir. My question is, whenever I start preparing for civil services examination, means I sit for civil service examination, and if anytime I change my mind and I want to sit for Indian Forest Service examination, so means will my that preparation work here, or will I have to prepare differently?
See, prelims for both the exam is same. The only difference is that in Indian Forest Service examination, the cutoff is more because seats are very less. Fine. So prelims preparation is almost same. The only thing is that you need to read about environment. You need to focus more on environment and geography and ecology. Okay, and you can clear forest exam. So there is no different preparation for prelims. Now, when it comes to mains, there are a set of subjects from which you have to choose any two subjects for your forest service. So you choose those two of subjects and prepare for them. So you will be, I mean, it is possible to prepare simultaneously for both civil services as well as forest services exam, because even after mains of UPSC civils, there will be at least 2 months gap for your mains of forest services. So you can cover both of them.
Okay, sir.
So anyone else having a question?
Just excuse me. Digvijay, will you introduce yourself? Where are you from?
Sorry, sir, I didn't hear.
Hello. Where are you from?
Hello.
And what are you doing now?
Sir, I am from I'm from Coach Bihar, and currently I am studying at Maulana Azad College, which is in Kolkata. I am pursuing BSc honors in mathematics, and currently I am at first year.
Okay, so how do you get to know about this foundation?
About this meeting?
Yeah.
Sir, one of my brother, he sent it to me. Okay, fine. I think we have another question, and previously there was one question in the chat box by Arkadip Sarkar. Arkadip, are you there? Okay, anyway, I think another hand was raised once again by Shaman Nair. So do you have any question? Shaman Nair. Is there any further question?
No, that was the previous one. I forward to
okay. So fine. Okay, let Mr. Sumit again just move forward. Please continue.
Okay, so now we will discuss about, very briefly, we will discuss about the 4 general studies paper. Fine. So coming to the first paper, that is GS1. So GS1, as you all might be aware, will be having your history part, that is the modern Indian history, the post-independence India, and the world history. Then you will be having art and culture part, okay, which will be having architectures of India, paintings, then your music, dance, drama, okay, then institutions. Let's say, for example, it has ICCR is there, or NSD is there, or ASI is there. Okay, then we will have what we have is Indian society. Then we have geography, and I think then women. The points with regard to women is covered in that only. That is the Indian society. Fine. So basically, the topics, the main subjects of GS1 are history, geography. History will include world history, geography, art and culture, society. So these 4 are there. Coming to GS2, we will be having polity, governance, international relations, international issues, and international institutions. Coming to paper 3, we have what? We have economics, we have agriculture, we have science and technology, we have disaster management, we have internal security. Anything else? Economic done? Yeah. So then we have paper 4. Paper 4 is ethics, integrity, and aptitude. So now coming to GS1. So in GS1, uh, first of all, when you prepare for this exam, prelims and mains is more sort of an integrated preparation. Remember this, okay? There are certain aspects which is different. For example, world history is not asked in your mains prelims exam, but world history is part of mains syllabus. Similarly, ancient and medieval Indian history part is not asked in your mains exam, but it is the part of prelims exam. But the art, culture, and architecture, which was dominant during ancient and medieval India, is very much part of your mains syllabus. Okay, I repeat once again, ancient and medieval, the history angle is not asked in mains exam, but the art, architecture, and culture angle is the part of your mains exam. Okay, this is the difference. And world history will be the part of mains exam, while it will not be the part of prelims exam. Okay, then coming to Indian society and geography, prelims and mains, exactly same syllabus. I mean, you have to study same things. Okay, Indian society, the question in prelims will not be very direct from Indian society, but in mains there will be questions. Okay, for example, women and caste, women empowerment, child protection, child rights, okay, rights of LGBT communities, or what role did LPG reforms had on society, or what role did globalization had on society, what role did globalization had on women, on issues of women. Okay, what role did COVID play on society, whether it created a rift, whether it increased the inequality, or it also tried to bring in social harmony. Okay, so these areas are there. So Indian society, and for Indian society you must read the NCERT books which is there. Apart from anything else which you read, never ignore the NCERT books in your preparation for both prelims and mains. Okay, there is a book called as Introduction to Indian Art. It's a pink color book which is very, very important for your art and culture part, apart from Nitin Singhania and whatever else you are doing. Okay, then for your society part, there are two books, that is Social Change and Development and Introduction to Indian Society. Both these books must be read very thoroughly for the exam. Okay, then for world history, you can refer to Vision IS World History booklet, which is available. PDF is available for free on internet, or if you have taken any coaching or anything else, you can refer that as well. Okay, and then Modern India, you can study Spectrum. If you have more time, you can study a book called as Palasi to Partition by Shekhar Bandyopadhyay. I repeat, Palasi to Partition by Shekhar Bandyopadhyay. If you have time over and above reading Spectrum. Okay, done. So this was a broad view with respect to paper 1. Now we come to paper 2, that is polity and governance part, the first part. For polity part, Lakshmikant has to be done. For governance part, PT mains 365 of Vision IS or any other good coaching. Let's say Rao has a mains compass. You can refer that. But mains 365 of Vision is free PDF. You can refer that as well. Okay. And regarding governance, I myself have made a very good PDF, I think, which covers many static aspects as well as dynamic aspects of governance. So I'll share that PDF. You can refer that also, and you can add whatever is coming in current. Okay. For example, you see there is a topic in our syllabus, that is regulatory bodies. So in that PDF which I'll be sharing, I've covered all the possible regulatory bodies in India. Let me give you the example for, let's say, TRAI, that is Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. Now, the basic aspects of TRAI, for example, why it has been made, what is its purpose, what is its role, some examples where it has played a crucial role. This is there. Now, let's say tomorrow, if some news comes from TRAI, what you will do, you will just add that news in your base material, in your base note. Okay, so this is the way where you have to study. So regarding governance, I'll share that PDF, and you can also cover current aspects from any material. Okay, so polity and governance is done. For international relations, again, Vision IS Mains 365 is a very good booklet where static and dynamic part for international relations are covered. Okay, so this covers your GS2 aspect. Now coming to GS3 aspect. So first is your economics part. So the in the start of this session, when I was talking about Mrunal sir's PDF, there you will be in the entire economics part will be covered. Along with it, some sections like government schemes and interventions, human resource development, agriculture. These areas will also be covered in that PDF. So you need to cover that PDF first. If when that is done, second aspect is your yeah, even economic survey, budget, everything will be covered in that PDF. Once that is done, you can then there is this internal security, for which there is a book by IPS Ashok Kumar. You can refer that book. Then disaster management, you can refer IGNU handout. Okay, you simply write on Google disaster management IGNU material. You will get on your internet. You can refer that. Then any even Vision's value added material is there on disaster management, which is good read. Apart from it, second ARC has to be done. Okay, that is Administrative Reforms Commission reports. So you can go through second ARC as well. Like even I have made videos on second ARC, which is freely available on YouTube. Okay, of all the major reports, I have summarized them. And trust me, studying ARC is very important to get a very to get good marks in your mains exam. Do not ignore it. In my first attempt, I did not read it because I did not had time, but in my subsequent attempt, I read it and I remembered it, which helped me a lot in writing a good answer. Fine. So ARC has to be done. Now, disaster management we talked about, internal security we talked about, economics we talked about, science and tech. Just follow the current affairs. Okay, any booklet of any coaching, current affairs. Okay, then defense also same thing. Fine. So this covers your GS3 part. Now coming to GS4 part, ethics, integrity and aptitude. There is a book by DK Balaji. Okay, so in that book you will be having the coverage of ethics syllabus wise in a very simple language. Okay, you can read that book, and then after reading it 2 to 3 times, you can make notes from that book after reading it 2 to 3 times. Okay, and then after this book is done, there's a book called as uh, Subbarao, D. Subbarao. So that book is very thick. You need not read that book in entirety. Okay, only certain topics from syllabus which you find that it is not covered in DK Balaji book, you can cover from that book. For example, utilization of public funds. That topic will not be covered very well in your DK Balaji book. You can cover that in your from that Subbarao book. Fine. So this is there, and then you also have to make list of some excuse me ethical terminologies. Fine. Any topper, even I'll try to share that. Actually, one topper from 2020 batch, he had made a very good list of ethics keywords, so that you can refer. So this will help you in covering basics of your GS4 as well. Fine. So this was a basic outlay of covering GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, and essay. Okay. So I hope things are pretty much clear with respect to mains exam. If you have any question, we can take it now. Hello.
So yes, our participants, please come out with the queries. Is there any question, or should we go ahead?
Sir, as you are saying that to take those means help from Vision IAS, is there any branch of Vision IAS in Kolkata?
That I am not aware of actually, because anything which you are Vision IS, everything you will get online. Okay, from Google for free. Whatever content I am talking about right now, it's all of them are freely available on internet. You need not go anywhere, and you need not pay a single rupee to anyone. Okay.
Okay.
So, sir, I think we have done today's session, sir, because a lot of things we have discussed. So, only now the part which remains is with respect to uh, interview, that is personality test. So, we will be keeping it for other day. And also, as I have told that regarding essay, we will talk how to approach and how to make a framework for philosophical essays. So, in the next session, whenever we will be having it, we will be talking in detail about essay writing and interview preparation. So, today we have discussed about prelims, we have discussed about mains, we have discussed about how to take the exam, when to take the exam. So, I think it was useful for all of you. And next session, whenever we will be planning, we will be having it and we will discuss about the other aspects, and also whatever questions you will be having, we will be taking it in the subsequent sessions.
Yes. Thanks a lot. And as many of you are already connected in that Vivek IS Aspirants group, so whenever just you feel it genuinely that you have to learn something, know something from Mr. Sumit Thakur, I'm just personally requesting him on your behalf. He has already agreed that you ask him question there. He will make, whenever he will just get an opportunity, he will answer you.
They can ask me the question, sir. And the thing is that it might not be possible to reply instantly, but whenever I'll see the message, I'll reply to them. And I believe, sir, that conducting a session is more fruitful because there participant can directly interact with me. He can or she can ask me the question. I can give the response. So one more thing is that I expect that in the next session we will be having more number of participants, because in that case, anyhow, these sessions are useful for you only, the aspirants. So it's advisable to take as much benefit as possible from these sessions. Okay, because anyhow, replying on WhatsApp is more inconvenient as compared to attending a session, because whatever advice I give here, that goes to a large audience at one time, and this becomes an interactive session.
No, definitely. I'm just always in favor of, as you know, I have already requested you to have it every week, but that is quite impossible for you, at least for the time being. And why I'm just suggesting to ask question, or just if any kind of communication if you want, so that for the till the next program or webinar, you stay connected with the entire thing.
Definitely.
Yeah, that is the thing. That is the point.
Yes, for sure. Okay, sir. So I'll take your leave, and I wish all the best to all the aspirants. And
sir, one more question, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, you say to download a PDF something from the website of UPSC. What was the name of the PDF again?
That is notification, exam notification. Okay. Whenever exam has to be conducted, first a notification is published by UPSC, so you will get their notification. Okay. Okay, sir. Then I'll take your leave, sir, and thank you very much, sir, to you as well as to all the aspirants, and all the best. Okay.
So we are really happy, really grateful to you, Mr. Sumit Thakur. What more I can tell? You are connected with Ramakrishna Mission. You are our own child. So we are really proud of you, and you are all the aspirants who are present here. We should also congratulate Mr. Sumit Thakur for his great achievement, and he will remain as a very, you can say, great example, inspiration for you. And I hope this beginning will definitely produce great results. In future, we must have many successful UPSC candidates from this platform only. Yes, definitely you will just have your coaching and other things wherever you think it is good for you, no problem. but stay connected with us because our purpose is totally different, and we have someone with you who is always ready to there to help you, and that help is unconditional. If there is any condition, it is that you will serve your country in the true spirit of service. It's okay?
Definitely, sir. Definitely. Thank you again, sir. Thank you once again to you and to all the aspirants as well for joining us for this webinar. And again, I convey my best regards to all of you, and prepare well and just give your best. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. Most welcome. So, yeah, if you have any comment regarding that program also, in a group, you can just leave it, and it will be inspiring for us if somehow or other it is going to help you. And I think Mona Lisa has joined late. Is it, Mona Lisa? Hello? Do you hear me? So anyway, thank you all for joining. And we have our actually, yes, Mona Lisa. So, yes, on behalf of our President of Vivek Foundation, Mr. Alec Chandra Samal has thanked all the participants and best wishes for you. Stay focused. The main thing is that we have to remain focused. Do something every day. Study something every day, and gradually, just improve on it. And only then it is going to really help you. And yes. Yes, Shantanu, it is Sutanu Mukherjee. Thank you, Sutanu, for your comment. And if you are not there in the group, IS Aspirants group, you will be just get connected. And Mr. Sumit Thakur has actually shared his Telegram link. A lot of information is available there. If you have not joined, please join it. Okay. Because that opportunity is very rare, because someone who has just actually cleared his UPSC and got a rank, I think as high as 263, it will be a great help for you, I do believe. And perhaps you do not know that he, before actually that cracking that UPSC, he actually cracked that JPSC, Jharkhand Public Service Commission, and he ranked 154. Just like for, I think from West Bengal, you sit for WBCS in the same manner. Here it is JPSC, and he was appointed as a joint commissioner, but he didn't join that service because his priorities were the IAS. So that is the most important part of your preparation. See, you cannot actually move forward with your legs on two boats, isn't it? Stay focused. Stay focused. The goal will be one, and with by pursuing that goal, you may achieve so many other things, right? But never ever just forget that you have targeted the highest, and that is why you are different from others who are happy with any kind of achievement or success. With that, I think we'll conclude this session of ours. And Sumit Ghosh, he is the president of Jamshedpur Vivekananda.
सर एक क्वेश्चन था आपने जो बोला था जो टेलीग्राम चैनल का लिंक कहाँ से मिलेगा सर?
Vishwajit, where are you from?
सर AVVY तमलुक ब्रांच वेस्ट बंगाल.
Okay, I'll share the link in Tamluk branch. You are there. If you are connected there, I'll share that link. Okay. so that
Okay, sir. Thank you.
those who are really interested, they can also get connected. Okay, fine. So next, I think I'll go to Sumit Gosda. So if you have something to share, Sumit, and with that, after that, please conclude. And Mr. Alex, are you there, sir? No, most probably. Okay, Sumit, Mr. Sumit Ghosh, do you hear me?
Okay, thank you very much for giving me such opportunity. No doubt today's session was very attractive as well as very helpful to everybody. I think, whatever may be. Thank you everybody for their participation, and I will be ever grateful to Sri Thakur, Sumit Thakur ji, who has guided all the aspirant students, as well as to everybody. And now I am going to read some portion from our Mahamandal booklet, that is from Values to Imbibe. From that portion, self-confidence. I will read self-confidence from the book Values to Imbibe, written by Navaniharan Mukhopadhyay. Just please hear it. Most probably it will be also helpful to everybody. Self-confidence. When a life or character is properly built, self-reliance comes. Thus, Swami Vivekananda used to say, education stands man on his own feet. Does it mean only to stand the body with the support of his legs? It really means to acquire the capacity to lead one's life towards the right goal, towards fruition. And as self-reliance increases, occasion for suffering becomes fewer. The more one depends on others, the more one has chances to suffer due to unfulfilled desires. One who has acquired the qualities of clear thinking, common sense, steadfastness, patience, self-restraint, tolerance, initiative, diligence, sincerity, determination, and the like, as seldom to depend on others, and therefore has lesser risk of suffering. He may expect to enjoy happiness because these values or qualities of character make him self-reliant. One who has learned to stride with self-reliance naturally has self-confidence. Self-confidence means faith in one's ability, efficiency. He knows with clear thinking and discrimination, I can resolve rightly, and with determination, I can achieve what I want to. So self-confidence means faith in oneself. Swami Vivekananda said, believe first in yourself and then in God. If you have faith in the 330 million of your mythological gods and all the gods which foreigners have introduced into your midst, and still have no faith in yourself, there is no salvation for you. Thus, we can see how much value Swamiji gave to self-confidence. He himself had tremendous self-confidence with which he could shake the world alone in spite of so many odds. Thank you very much. Most probably it will be helpful to all of you that I have read it.
Okay, thank you, Shamita. Then I will request Mr. Padmalojan Ghosh to conclude today's program with Shanti Mantra. Mr. Padmanabhan Ghosh is the Secretary of Jamshedpur Vivekananda Yuva Mahamandal.
Namaste Thakur. Om Isthapukayascha Dharmasya Sarvadharma Sarupine Avatara Varisthaya Ramakrishnaya Te Namah. Om Jananing Saradang Deving Ramakrishnam Jagatguru Pada Padme Toya Sitva Pranamami. Om Namah Sri Jyotirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Sachit Sukha Sarupine Swamine Tapaharine. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.
Purnamidam Purnam Gacchate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. So once again, thanking everyone. We are concluding today's session.